Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel, where today we are talking about this young fella on screen here, Daniel Gore, of course coming through the Manchester United Academy, and there's two main reasons that we are going to be talking about him today. One of the main reasons is because you guys have asked for it a lot in the recent comments. However, the other reason is because in my opinion he has really been impressing in pre-season. So today we're going to talk about his strengths, weaknesses, and perhaps what the future holds for him as a player. So before we continue into the video, a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, jerseyfifa.com, the home of all of the greatest football kits. Whether that be the new latest releases or the old classic ones like this, Jersey FIFA has something for everyone, and now you can check it out yourself using the link in the description down below. And also make sure to use code JerseyFIFA for 10% off when you order. So one of the main reasons why I want to look at Dan Gore is because of numbers like this which he's been producing in pre-season. We can see touches 58, passes 41 out of 46, long balls 2 out of 3, dribbles attempted 3 out of 4 with 3 of them being successful. Ground duels won 6 out of 9 and aerial duels won 1 out of 2. Now these were the numbers that he produced in the first half against Wrexham the other week. Now unfortunately, right at the start of the second half, he did get sent off in this game. However, I wouldn't look into that too much. In my opinion, it was an awful decision from the referee. Dan Gore doesn't even make the first contact, the opposition player did. So let's ignore the red card, but look at the stats which he was producing in this game. They look genuinely very good. And particularly those dribbles, 3 out of 4, that is what interests me. Because we know that Ten Hag likes a midfielder which is able to dribble. And Dan Gore is definitely that. I think that is his real strength as a footballer. It's his technical ability. His ability to absorb pressure, receive the ball deep. He does look like he could be a first phase player. So, for now, let's take Casemiro out of the team. Don't worry, I'm not saying he should replace Casemiro. Let's just use it as an example. Dan Gore is excellent. And I mean excellent at receiving the ball in these areas. We've seen it already in pre-season, if we just get rid of this number here. We've seen that he's willing to drop all the way into his own penalty area to receive the ball and help the team play out from the back. And like I said, from here, he is one of the few players in the Manchester United squad which I would genuinely describe as being press resistant. He's very good in these situations. He has a brilliant first touch, an ability to use both feet to shift the ball from side to side, to manipulate the ball away from the opposition. He's also got a really good low centre of gravity, allowing him to turn, and also his turning circle is very small, again allowing him to turn almost on a pinpoint, on a pivot, and get round the opposition, giving him this element of press resistance. We've seen several situations in pre-season where he was receiving the ball in situations like this and able to turn past both of these players with one little drop of the shoulder, and that is genuinely brilliant technical ability. So he certainly could go on in his career to become a deep first phase player who tries to dictate the play from these positions. However, something else that he has shown during pre-season is his ability to play a little bit further up the pitch. So now we'll take Mason Mount out. Again, I'm not saying he should replace Mason Mount, it's just an example, because he has shown that he has this ability to operate in these areas of the pitch as well. Now from these positions he offers something a little bit different, because of course you are receiving the ball in a different way. However, still, regardless of that, he still looks like a very good ball carrier, someone who can pick the ball up in these areas of the pitch and break opposition structures by carrying the ball forward. He's very good in that area. But on top of this, he's also a good progressive passer, and just a good passer in general really, able to play short 1-2s to kind of keep the tempo ticking over, dictate the play, keep moving the ball for his side. But like I said there, also capable of moving the ball forward through the lines, really hurting the opposition to find players in forward areas. So again, Dan Gore looks really good in that position. What else I like about him in this middle third of the pitch when he's operating in this area is also his defensive side of the game. For quite a physically small player, he is really up for the battle. He's really up for putting challenges in. Now, of course, that went against him in pre-season with the red card, although, like I said already, I think that was very harsh. And in my opinion, he's actually put in a lot of good tackles in pre-season, and that is another area where he's really impressed me. Not only is he showing this technical ability on the ball, but also the hard work and the tenacity off the ball, things which we know that Erik Ten Hag likes. So genuinely, as a package, it is looking quite good for him. The other thing I like about him is sort of as he moves up and through the pitch, his combination play. So like I said, from deeper areas he can progress the ball through the lines, but another way in which he can progress the ball is just by combining. For example, giving the ball to his left winger, moving into a different position to receive the ball again. His combination play, quick 1-2 touch passing is very good, and that's a really effective way of moving through opposition teams. When teams have got players behind the ball, This ability to move the ball onto someone else and then make another movement, being proactive in the way that he does this, is really good, and he's really good at recognising space in these areas. Having got into the final third, he's perhaps not as creative as you would like, although he is still pretty creative. Slightly earlier on, a few years ago in the academy, he used to play as more of a number 10. It was kind of decided that he wasn't quite creative enough to make it in that position at the top level. However, just the fact that he has played in that position does show that he does have a creative eye, and we've seen it already in pre-season. He makes the run into this position and dinks the ball into the box with some really good play. So in my opinion, he has genuinely shown the ability as a midfielder to play in all three phases. He can play in the first phase, receive the ball with his back to play, and genuinely be one of United's better players when doing this. He's shown it in the middle phase, he can slow it down, kind of dictate the tempo, his passing numbers were very good as we saw earlier. He can progress the ball with passes through the lines to hurt the opposition, but he can also absorb pressure and carry the ball forward himself very, very well. All very good stuff. His combination play is good, using one-touch, two-touch football to move the ball forward, and then once in the final third, he genuinely seems to have that slight creative edge. Again, this is an area where he could improve, but we do see elements of it in his game already. All round, technically, this is a really good footballer, a fundamental, really very good footballer who has the base, if you like, to go on to have a very good career. Add on to that the fact that from the defensive point of view, he looks like a player which is willing to work hard, get stuck in. His reading of the game seems decent, although needs a little bit of work still. We do have to consider that he is very, very young, still very raw as a footballer, but he seems very intelligent, very composed, very calm. It seems like everything is being done at his pace. And he seems like one of those players which is a little bit ahead of the game at times, which is really good for a young player to have. Now, in terms of his future and moving forward, the real benefit which Dan Gore has is that he has shown that he can do it in a few different roles. He's shown that he can do it as a deep midfielder. He's shown that he can do it as more of an 8, and potentially as more of a 10 a little bit higher up the pitch. He has shown the ability to play a few different roles. Now, going forward, that could be a very good thing for him, because it means that he can play in a lot of tactical systems. For example, if he was to eventually make it at someone like Manchester United, for example, under Erik ten Hag, we know that ten Hag likes his players to rotate a lot, and I mean a lot. But Dan Gore could do that. He could drop into these areas and progress the ball from here. He's someone who would be happy, if needed, to drop all the way into the defence to pick the ball up. He's shown that already using his press resistance. But also in other situations, he could push much further forward, get involved in the final third, where again his technical ability, his combination play and creativity is of a decent level. So he's given himself a real good chance of going on to have a good career, simply by being such a technically well-rounded player. However, in terms of making it at Old Trafford at this moment in time, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. There's too many players in his way. Casemiro, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Amrabat might come into the club. Christian Eriksen, Kobe Mainu, even Scott McTominay would all still be ahead of him in the pecking order. That's 7 players still ahead of him. In terms of his progression from here, he's probably best off with one more year in the academy before looking for a loan, maybe to the Eredivisie, where players are really good at developing from a technical but also a tactical point of view, or maybe the French league, the Portuguese league. That is kind of the trajectory which I can see his career taking. Now, do I think Dan Gore is going to make it as a top-level Manchester United player? Not too sure. It's really difficult to say. A lot of things have to go his way. He needs luck with injuries. The loan moves have to be right, so he's playing in the right systems to develop the right parts of his game. He also might need to get a bit of luck, maybe with someone else getting injured, so he has a chance to break into the team. He then needs to take his chance as well. He needs to work hard on and off the pitch. His attitude has to be right. There is so much which goes into becoming and making it as a top-level footballer, especially for one of the biggest clubs in the world. Dan Gore looks like he has perhaps the skill set to do it. He has the profile to do it, to be that modern day midfielder. We now just have to wait and see whether he has the true level and the true quality. But I'm really interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Because like I said, a lot of people have been asking for this video, so of course I have delivered. But I assume that means a lot of you have been impressed by him. Or perhaps you were just intrigued to know a bit more about him. This is how I see him at the moment in terms of what he does on the ball, plus that hard work off the ball. I like what I'm seeing, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think is his best strength? What do you think is his biggest area of concern? Perhaps his biggest weakness, an area he needs to work on? What do you think is the right path for him moving forward? Should he stay in the academy for another year? Should he go out on loan? What do you think is the best option? And also, what do you think is the level that he can get to as a footballer? Is he a championship footballer in the future, a lower level Premier League side, a mid-level Premier League side, or genuinely a top side? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. I will try and get back to as many of you as possible. But apart from that, I think we're finished for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed the camera looking a little bit better. We've sorted out some lighting, so hopefully that has improved the experience for you guys. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.